Sunshine note, like, oh, oh.
And oh.
Hi everyone, it's Ketchy, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. Before we jump right in here, if you are new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell to be notified for all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content like this. So we are back with another episode of my eco lifestyle runaway teen series, The Runaways. So we are back here at Sunshine Rains' house, and as you can see, she is checking herself out in the mirror, but this is not just a moment of vanity. She's actually getting herself psyched up because she is preparing for a family vacation, getaway trip, whatever you want to call it, with her son Winter and her ex-husband, consciously uncoupled partner Hawke. So if you guys will remember, a couple episodes back, Sunshine and Hawke had a conversation because they had started to notice that Winter had been kind of pulling away and acting out, and it wasn't a good look for them, their family, and where they want to go in this new place that they are in Evergreen Harbor. So her and Hawke had a discussion about what they wanted to do to get him back on track, and at the time I let you guys know that what they were discussing was pretty on the hush hush low low, keeping it secret for right now, but we are actually catching back up to that moment. And part of what they discussed was, hey, how about we take Winter out on a family trip to kind of get his mind straight and, you know, get him back on track. So that is just part of what they discuss. We will soon unravel what the rest of their whole plan was, but in the meantime, she is actually preparing for their trip. They are actually going back to Oasis Springs. So if you guys remember, Winter is actually from Oasis Springs, and that is where he grew up. That's where their family used to live, and he has been missing Oasis Springs for quite some time, and now he doesn't really like it here in Evergreen Harbor. And so Hawke and Sunshine are thinking, hey, maybe he's feeling a little bit homesick. Maybe if we took a trip back to the old neighborhood, it will get him back into the right spirit, and we can kind of get him in the right mood and attitude to be receptive of the other half of our plan, which we will be getting into soon. But I'm gonna actually have Sunshine go ahead and pack her stuff because they are about to head out onto the road, and we're actually gonna check back in with the other half of the Rains family to see what that side is dealing with as far as this trip is concerned. So as you can see, Winter is not in the best of spirits. He's actually been grounded since he went out with Ember. He stayed out pretty late that night. If you guys can remember, he stayed out pretty late, was doing some bubble hookah, and came home super early in the morning, and Hawke was none too pleased. As a response to that, he has been under lockdown. His dad pretty much has commandeered his phone, so he hasn't really been able to talk with Ember like he wanted to. They have been hanging out. He's been sneaking out to hang out with her, but as far as him being able to chat with her, send text messages, and just have full freedom of his phone, Hawke has pretty much revoked those privileges, and that's why Winter did not attend Asher's birthday in the last episode, because he just wasn't getting any of Ember's messages letting him know that, you know, the party was going on and that she wanted him to be there. So, you know, he's pretty kind of over it. But he's hoping that things can turn around today, because his dad did let him know that they are going on a family trip together. So he's hoping to go ahead and, you know, get into a positive spirit about things, and he's actually gonna go for a job because he did kind of wake up this morning a little bit like angry and tense. And that'll actually give Hawke some time to get things situated for them to head out on their trip. Things have not really been going so well for Hawke. Honestly, like since they've been here, it's kind of been one disaster after another. He hasn't really been able to figure out what he's going to do as far as making sure they stay afloat money-wise. Like I mentioned before in the episode where we focused on Sunshine, Hawke pretty much used all the money that they accumulated from selling their house in Oasis Springs to set Sunshine up really well in her house. Because, despite the fact that they're not together anymore, he still loves her and they're not divorced. That's still his wife. But what that has really done is put them in a financial bind because he really doesn't have any... look, you guys, they've got 68 million left. And it didn't help that they had that fire the other episode that sucked up quite a bit of funds, and they have to pay rent here, and he still has to pay on Sunshine's house. It's not been great, and it's been torture on him, man. That's why his skin's breaking out. He's stressed. So I'm actually going to have Hawke go out to the library because they don't have a computer. But honestly, and shoot, because they're so broke, he can't. Are you coming to see me? You know how much I miss you. I want to see your handsome face. We're going to be on the trip soon, honey. We'll be there with you. Hey, son, are you coming over today? I miss you. Like, Sunshine is just anxious to go on this trip. Not yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Hawke figure out a way to get to the library because we need access to a computer. And I say this because Hawke is kind of in a bad situation. He promised Sunshine he would take them all out on this trip, but the issue that they're running into now is that he can't afford it. Sunshine pretty much let him know the exact villa that she wants them to stay at for this trip, but it's pretty pricey, so I'm actually gonna have we're gonna figure something out. We're gonna figure something out to get them on this trip, but I'm thinking what he's gonna have to do is sell some of his items because we need to be able to get out of here. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you're staring at this wall and thinking that it looks a little bare, you are not incorrect. Hawke had to make some hard choices, and so he decided to pawn the TV for some extra cash so that they can afford to pay for some more of their basic services in the household. He had cut off their cable anyway because they couldn't afford it, and they've really only been paying for cell phone and power right now. So he sold the TV so that they can turn back on some of their other services, and then once he gets back on his feet, he can purchase the TV again. But right now, it's not really so important that they have it. It's not a necessity for them right now. So now they have a little bit more simoleons to work with, so he can turn on some of their services again, and he can travel out to get additional funding. So let's go ahead and get out onto the road. So Hawke went and took a hop and a skip over to the Bridechester campus. I know you're probably wondering why he didn't just go to Sunshine's house to do what he needed to do as far as using a computer, but that is because he doesn't want Sunshine to know what he's doing, and what he is doing is he's taking out a loan. So unfortunately, like I mentioned, Hawke is not very liquid as far as his finances. He's always been kind of a go with the flow like nomadic type when it comes to a career. So he's never really been deep in a career. Both him and Sunshine unfortunately kind of have that in common. So when it comes to like getting, you know, into a position where he is liquid, he's been having trouble. He actually started out wanting to become a personal chef, and if you guys remember, he burnt down their kitchen trying to do that, so it's not been going so well. I think he thought that maybe it might be fun, it might help him learn how to cook, but unfortunately it's just kind of not done that. So he's kind of figuring out like, well, I need to figure out something as far as my life and, you know, having something to pay the bills, because it's all starting to come down on us, and the just feeling like I don't have it together and like I have all this crippling debt around me is really stressing me out. So that's why he's breaking out. So, you know, he doesn't really know what to do. He's hoping that maybe he can have a conversation with Sunshine while they're kind of figuring things out with Winter during this trip to say, hey, I know we are kind of uncoupled right now and living separately and exploring what that means, but honestly, I think we might need to move back in together as a family. I think it's going to be better for us financially, and I'm not trying to freak you out, but I don't know how much longer we can afford to be living separately like this. It's not so great. But in the meantime, he's going to pretend like everything is roses, and he's going to give Sunshine this trip she wants. Right now that he took out the loan, he went and he got a $10,000 loan with a SimCity loans. And so now he has to make sure he pays that loan back. So that's more debt he has to figure out. But right now he doesn't want to worry about that. He's hoping he can have that conversation with Sunshine during the trip and figure out how that's going to be looking and what we're going to do. In the meantime, though, he does want to give them the trip that Sunshine is expecting them to have, which is the lavish villa in Oasis Springs, and he's going to pretend like everything is okay until he's able to have that conversation with Sunshine at the villa to kind of get their finances in order. So this is the lavish villa that Sunshine had saw that she wanted them to stay at for their family vacation, and that Hawke has pretty much broken his back to afford for them to spend the weekend at. So when I say this is a lavish villa, that is no understatement. This house costs 2,358 simoleons a day to stay at. So Sunshine surely has expensive tastes, and Hawke's going to end up bearing the brunt of that a taste of hers right now, though at this point he's pretty much used to it. And if you guys are interested in this build, I did not build this house. This is a build that was done by a builder, and she is actually on YouTube as well, called Jessica Pie, and she does the most amazing builds. So if you are interested in this build or any of her others, because she, like I said, is an amazing build, her gallery ID is Jessica Pie YT. But that aside, I'm gonna go ahead and get them situated. Winter appears to be still annoyed that, you know, he's been under lockdown for so long, but he is feeling a bit better because, you know, he's missed Oasis Springs. Like, he doesn't like Evergreen Harbor pretty much like at all. So he's hoping that while they're doing this family vacation here, he can maybe see some of his old friends that he used to hang out with when he used to live here. But as you can see, he is quite none too pleased, a little bit pissed off still. So he's going to run it off. But we are going to check in with Hawke. It seems he is using the faculties, and because we are in the patriarch household of the reigns. I don't have control of Sunshine right now, so she's going to just do whatever she's going to do. But I can't imagine that she's anything but just feeling the luxuriousness of this place, so she is looking forward to just luxuriating the whole time. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we could just add her to the group. I don't know why it says that. Do you think I look nice today? Oh, he's feeling insecure because of his breakout. He's like, you know, do you think, like, how do I look today? Yes, why do you even have to ask? Of course, Sunshine's going to be very nice to Hawke because she really appreciates that he did pretty much roll out the carpet for them to stay at this villa. She's just very impressed that he made this happen for her, and, you know, Hawke is just feeling it too. And oh look, she's gifting him as thanks for getting this villa. And Hawke is gonna go ahead and go in to see if he can get just a little bit of romance with his wife, despite the fact that they really aren't together like that. But, you know, it is what it is. It says first kiss, but, you know, it's not. They have a whole child together. But, you know, Hawke is actually going to just real quickly, like, let Sunshine know, like, oh, she's really looking to thank him for doing this vacation for them. I am not going to interrupt, but I should hope that at some point during what they are doing upstairs, that Hawke will have a conversation with her about, you know, we have to talk later about our finances and our future as far as us being able to stay afloat as a family financially, but I want to have a little fun with you before we have that conversation, and we'll see how things go. But we are actually just going to check in with Winter, who looks like he's back from his jog, and he is actually going to go and check out what is going on with his old friends in Oasis Springs. I'm gonna have him go ahead and give them a call, and they're gonna meet up at the park so that they can catch up with each other. So Winter came down to the local community center in Oasis Springs, and he actually asked along some of his old friends. So here we have over here, this is Eric. So Eric is someone that Winter got to know right before he left Oasis Springs. He kind of moved here recently because he actually became a single parent teen dad. His parents found out he was having unprotected woohoo, and it resulted in a child, so they kind of kicked him out of the house. So he was living together with the mother of his child, but it got too much for her to handle, and she kind of ran off. So he's kind of just been living in Oasis Springs by himself with his daughter as a single teen dad, and he is just such a cutie. But this is Eric. This over here is Leroy, but everyone calls him LJ. He comes from a pretty big family, actually has a twin sister. Winter actually invited her as well. I think she's somewhere on the lot, but she is not here right now. LJ and him are really cool. They spend time together as far as like doing physical activities like sports and whatnot. They're normally thick as thieves and doing those types of activities together. And then, of course, last but not least, we have here little Miss Heartbreaker, Shay Elise Jefferson. So Winter actually used to have, and I don't know why she's so sad. I don't know what happened to you, girl. He used to have the biggest crush on Shay Elise, but she is one of those girls where it's like, she has pretty high standards and no one's ever really good enough for her, and she kind of winds guys up and make them run in circles for her. So I'm not sure if she had her heart broken or what's going on with Shaylise, but I don't know. Like, it's kind of interesting him seeing Shaylise again under these circumstances, because he used to have the biggest crush on her, and now he kind of is in a relationship now. So really interesting seeing that dynamic, or if he even still has feelings like that for her anymore. But in the meantime, they are all going to catch up together and hang out, and he's gonna find out, you know, what they've all got going on. So Winter is actually letting them know everything that's been going on in Evergreen Harbor. He's like, yeah, it kind of really sucks there. There's nothing really going on. It's not really my scene. So I just wish I could come back to Oasis Springs with you guys and just have my life back here again. And you know, they're all like, yeah, we really miss you, and we were hoping that things would turn out great there for you, but you know. But like now Shaylise is getting into her problems, and she's all like, yeah, I was kind of sad before I got here. I actually got my heart broken by some guy, so I almost didn't come out. So that is news to Winter, but he's, you know, right now just trying to catch up with his friends, because you know, he hasn't seen them in quite some time, and he just wants to see where all they are at. And so right now he's just catching up with LJ. He's all like, that's messed up what happened with Shaylise. Do you know anything about what happened with that situation? And LJ's just letting him know that, you know, that Shaylise kind of, you know, has been dating and messing around with an older guy, so that's kind of where that's at. But like, he really shouldn't worry about it. And he's like, honestly, like, you know how she is. She's really hot and cold when it comes to relationships. So like, LJ's all like, but yeah, tell us about you. Like, you have anything going on in your love life? He's like, actually I do. I have like a girlfriend, and that's literally the only good thing they have going on in Evergreen Harbor. And Shaylise hears that and kind of walks away, because like, I think in her mind, since she's been having like issues in her relationship, she thought that with Winter being back in town, that maybe he could pay her some attention and make her feel a little bit better. But like, hearing that he's got somebody, like, really kind of grinded her gears. But LJ's like really excited to hear that, you know, Winter has moved on and is seeing somebody. And of course Winter is happy to tell them about, you know, Ember. Like, that's really is the only good thing he has going on in his life right now, as far as, you know, his situation at Evergreen Harbor. But he, like, just being in Oasis Springs has just been putting him in the best of spirits. He really loves it here, and he would love nothing more for his family to just move back to Oasis Springs and for him to have his life back here. But honestly, having that conversation, the catch-up moment with his friends, is reminding him about how much he really does, like, love Ember. And I don't even know if love's like the right word to use right now, because, you know, it's kind of like still puppy love, they're teenagers, and I don't think that's the word that Winter would use. But he does have really strong feelings for Ember, and it's been like really rough not being able to talk to her as freely since he's been grounded. So, you know, he's been really using exercising and jogging to blow off steam, because it's just been making him really angry, and he's been needing ways to have an outlet to get some of his anger out. Being with his friends has been helping since he's been in Oasis Springs, but them talking about Ember just now, like, reminded him that he needs to blow off some more steam, because he still has a lot of rage about it. But it looks like his friends are inside skating, so I would have him join them, but he's looking at the time. He remembered that his parents actually wanted to go out to dinner tonight, so he's actually just going to say goodbye to them and say, hey, we're gonna be here for, you know, until tomorrow night when we're gonna head back to Evergreen Harbor, so I might, you know, invite you guys over to our rental tomorrow, but I do have to go and, you know, have dinner with my parents. But it's been really cool at catching up with you guys. But yeah, I'm just gonna have Winter go ahead and head back to their villa so that him and his parents can go and have their family dinner.
crying little.